property, withdraw a fairly small amount of money from your bank, or take a prescription to your local chemist, or apply for a parking permit for outside your house, buying a plane ticket to go on holiday, or pay for your car to be unclamped, you will be required to swipe your card, and the database will silently record the transaction. There will be almost no part of your life that the state will not be able to inspect, and it will be able to use the database to draw very precise conclusions about the sort of person you are, your spending habits, your religion, your political earnings, or just your normal earnings, your health, and even perhaps your sexual preferences. So I suppose it's a little wonder why the MI5 desired and was granted free access to the database. Little wonder that the police, customs and tax authorities welcomed the database as an aid to their investigations, because they would. Customs and tax authorities can now bug your home, your car, your telephone, if they think you are doing anything dodgy, like claiming more benefits or something. So yeah, they would like this card. Just remember, we are giving the most precious part of ourselves to the government, allowing it complete freedom to roam through our privacy, and it's not just to the government, but to the governments of the future, and the nature of which we cannot possibly know. And it's not only just our privacy, it is the rights and privacy of our future generations. While we are comfortable about handing this information over to the state, the citizens of the future may feel strongly about our complacency and our faith in our governments. These cards will not just go to your local governments through the database, they will be sent to governments around the world. The Prime Minister has asked us to trust him, and implies that abuse of the database would be unthinkable here in Britain. But after the lies before the invasion of Iraq, the revelations of the Hutton inquiry, and the evidence about rendition flights using British airspace, British airspace, and the loss by the government of 25 million child benefit records, including bank and building society details, national insurance numbers and home addresses. I am afraid I do not trust this government's motives. Nor do I trust its competence. The past decade is littered with failed government IT projects, the Child Support Agency, the immigration records, the Working Tax Credit Database, the Farmers Single Payment Scheme are a few that just come to mind. One of the worst failures of a government database to come to light was when the Home Office admitted that the Criminal Records Office had wrongly identified 2,700 people as having criminal records. Think about it. What would you do if you were put in prison for no reason, and your life, for as long as it takes to get out of the prison, was taken away? You can't get that time back, even if it is a day or years in prison, let alone what might happen to you while you're in the prison with real offenders. But the problem is, people adapt without question to the systems, and this is what scares me, because people do believe the government is there for them and that it works for the people. ID card has arrived in Iran and people are very frightened. If you go in the street and you don't carry your ID card, you're going to be imprisoned right away, and after that, who knows? Also, that can happen in any other European country where it is now mandatory to carry your ID card with you. Same in Singapore. We're seeing the same totalitarian system. Now this is a standard with tyranny governments, because in El Salvador too, when the coup happened, because all the peasants were being kicked off the land, any peasant found in any town without an ID card was put on their knees and shot in the head. And we are too moving into a totalitarian state. There's a push that's going on right now, and we're all living through this massive push towards RFID, radio frequency identification. We're all eventually going to be chipped, but it's a step-by-step program. It's like getting animals and you train them step by step. The next step of ID, the active ID card, and then you'll find them stolen from people, and they'll come in with the implantable chip, which is already available, and some people already have it implanted, like I have reported on in the past in the Edge News archives, like BBC science producer Simon Morton. To promote the microchip, he's had it implanted in his arm, so when he was on holiday he could pay for all his drinks. British professor of cybernetics Kevin Warwick, who implemented a chip in his arm in 1998. There's also nightclubs in Barcelona, Spain, and in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. They're using an implantable chip to identify their VIP customers. There's Mexico's Attorney General and at least 18 people in his office. They have been implanted with microchips that gain them access to secure areas of their headquarters. There was the reported case of the Jacobs family after 9/11 in America, and the program has started with the children, like here in England in Doncaster, Unger Hill School. Children are to be tracked in school via radio chipped sewn into their uniforms. There are also some schools in England that make the children have a thumbprint for the dinners when they go for the dinner tokens or whatever. It's all preconditioning for the children, so when they're older it becomes natural, like getting out of bed in the morning. You don't think about it, you just get out. It's what we've been doing to animals for a long time. It's a sort of farming, and farmers must ID their property, so we become the property of the state. It is a mandate. It's a must be. All this propaganda is to get you to use it, to think of it as a normal way of life. So we need to educate ourselves, and especially our kids, because they are the ones who've been trapped into it. We have to stop all this madness. The arguments that have been put forward in favour of ID cards have been easily disproven. ID cards will not stop terrorists. Every Spaniard has a compulsory ID card, as did the Madrid bombers. ID cards will not eliminate benefit fraud, which in comparison is small compared to the astronomical cost of the proposal of the card, which will be measured in billions according to the London School of Economics. This scheme exists solely to exert total surveillance and control over the ordinary British citizen,